Not long ago, the Brazilian Minister of Foreign Relations, also known by the peculiar name of Itamaraty, released a list of countries with the largest number of Brazilians abroad. And here are they. 10th place, Argentina. Number of Brazilian residents, 89,000. And that means 2 Brazilians per each 1,000 people. In 9th place, Canada. Almost 122,000 Brazilians live in Canada, corresponding to 3 to every 1,000 people. Next is Germany, where 144,000 Brazilians live there, but since Germany has a large population, that means only 2 Brazilians per each 1,000 people. In the 7th place is Spain. More than 156,000 Brazilians live in Spain, which means 3 for every 1,000 people. In 6th place, a classical destination, Italy. 161,000 Brazilians live in Italy, and this number is likely underestimated because it doesn't count a lot of people that have double citizenship. But even underestimated, this number means already 3 Brazilians per each 1,000 people live in Italy. In 5th place, Japan. 211,000 Brazilians live in Japan. That means 2 in every 1,000 residents of Japan, and also here a lot of those Brazilians they are actually descendants from Japanese that emigrated to Brazil in the last century or even before that. In 4th place, the United Kingdom. 220,000 Brazilians live in the UK, and that means 3 in every 1,000 people. Now comes the top 3 and get ready for some surprises. In 3rd place, Paraguay. Number of Brazilian residents, 240,000. But since Paraguay has quite a small population, that means 34 Brazilians for every 1,000 people. And the only Latin American country to be among the 5 that receive the most Brazilian immigrants, Paraguay is not usually that obvious choice that makes the eyes of expatriates shine. Paraguay is also the only country in the ranking to have a lower Human Development Index, HDI, than Brazil. Brazilians have immigrated to Paraguay due to a combination of factors including cheap land and real estate and more favorable tax and labor laws. Because Brazil has one of the most chaotic legal codes in the world. In some areas of the country, especially near the border, Brasiguaios make up to 10% of the population. Ciudad del Este, a Paraguayan border city close to the massive Itaipu Dam, has a population that is almost 30% Brazilian. 2nd place, Portugal. And Portugal has more than 276,000 Brazilian residents, meaning 27 Brazilians per each 1,000 people. It's not new for Brazilians to move to Lisbon or other parts of Portugal. Even one of the Portuguese kings, Dom Pedro IV, was a Brazilian emperor before assuming the crown on the other side of the Atlantic in Europe. The Portuguese colonizers went to South America and built a nation from the scratch, and some of the most splendid Brazilian historical towns are also gems of Portuguese architecture. In the last 2 decades, a sequence of economic crises in Brazil took place, and violence erupted, culminating in the turmoils of the year 2014. Brazilians started to flee in droves from their country, owing to the bad economy and the high crime. I was one of them. But less than 2% of the Brazilian population is fluent in English. Therefore, except for this small minority, anyone willing to move abroad needed to face a language barrier. Portugal becomes a natural destination. And now the 1st place, the largest Brazilian diaspora in the world, the United States. 1,775,000 Brazilians are registered by the Ministry of Foreign Relations in the United States. And that means 5 Brazilians for every 1,000 residents of this country. Differently from the 2nd position, the high number of Brazilians in the US should not come as a shock, since it's a normal thing in most Latin American countries. Florida and Massachusetts are the states with the largest number of Brazilians. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe to our channel for the next ones.